Ryan, nice to have that catch up once again as you head towards the weekend. Just want to finally just wrap up all what happened on Tuesday. You've had time to digest how it all went and what a positive night it was for the team and the club. What do you really take out of that? What was the one thing that caught your eye?
In truth, Graham, we take the 3 points and then we move on to the next game. We can't dwell on it. We can't get too carried away with it. It was one game that you can get 3 points for, and we got the 3 points. Yes, for the fans, it was a terrific night for them, as it was for the players. But you've got to quickly come back down to earth and move on and concentrate on what's coming up next.
Is that how it has to be when you lead from the front, when things are going really, really well, that you make sure you've got every angle covered, that things don't dip?
Yeah, absolutely. One game at a time, regardless of the opponents. You've got to focus and concentrate on what the upcoming task is. And on that bus coming back from Stockport on Tuesday night, yes, we enjoyed the moment, but the moment had then gone. And our focus then turns now onto Harrogate come Saturday.
How much work do you do? You haven't got a lot of days when you play, obviously, Tuesday night. But how much work does go into preparation of the opposition?
So I was at the ground at about 1 o'clock on Tuesday watching Harrogate. We'd watched them a little bit on Monday after training, just trying to drop things in because we'd sorted out our plan for Stockport. And then we watch a little bit on Wednesday. We'll have another meeting with the staff today, probably watch a little bit more, put a plan in place, and then go and work on that on the training ground Thursday, Friday.
Well, all that work that you're putting in is coming to fruition at the moment, and long may it continue. The one thing that you must be delighted about is whatever plan, whatever tactics you want your players to do, they can adapt and carry it out.
Yeah, it's important that the players can adapt to different situations and challenges that we put to them, depending on what challenges we're getting from the opposition. And the players have been very adaptable throughout the season so far. We've started games in certain formations, we've tweaked it during games, and they've adjusted to that quickly. And that's credit to them, how they understand and how quickly they can adjust to different situations.
Another thing that stood out for everybody to see this season is how fit your team is and how they've scored late goals. They've had the most comebacks in the division as well. Was that something that when you and Lee got together and the other members of the management team that you thought we need to improve that fitness levels and you've done that?
Not something that I overly noticed, in truth. Obviously, you have to get the players conditioned into a condition that can last the duration of games. Joe and the team worked terrifically hard in the pre-season to get people up to speed and hit the ground running. And I think it's just sticking to what you do throughout games and trusting in what you're doing, and you hopefully then get the rewards regardless of what minute of the game it is that you score. If we thought going back to front was the best way of scoring, we'd do that from minute one. We don't think that. We have a certain way and an idea on what we want it to look like, and the players have bought into that. And then even if you end up going behind, they trust and stick with it, and they've shown at times that by sticking with it and trusting us and trusting themselves in what they're trying to do, they've got rewards by getting late goals. It's in different games throughout the season so far.
Ryan Cooney must feel like the odd man out, with my next question. 2 new goal scorers again in the week. That's 18 for the season. I think he's the only one of the players who's just not yet scored a goal. But to have that many goal scorers, you must have a great feeling that you can go on and win games.
Yeah, we feel we've got goals all the way throughout the team, not just the forwards and the wide players, but as it's shown throughout this season, the midfielders have chipped in with goals, the defenders have chipped in with goals, Mickey especially. It's something that we addressed at the start of the year. You can't just be reliant on individuals that play at the top end of the pitch. You need goals coming throughout the team, and we've managed to get that so far this season, and hopefully that can continue.
The stats before Tuesday night would have been looking at this weekend's game against Harrogate as two teams back in form, because Harrogate were coming up the table. Unfortunately, they had a horrible result for them. Will that change that now? How do you think that's going to affect them, and how do you have to guard against what might be the wounded animal?
Harrogate are still a team in form. One defeat doesn't mean that you're now out of form. They've been on a terrific run of results, and not just results, performances as well. I've watched a few of Harrogate's games. They're a good team, good footballing team, really well organised with and without the football. And it doesn't surprise me where they sit in the table with the performances they've been putting in and the results that they've been getting. Everyone can have a blip and everyone can have a one-off game, and Tuesday night they obviously had that, and they'll certainly be wanting to bounce back and maintain the position that they're in currently. But we've got to focus on us, as we do every game, and come up with a way that we think we can get 3 points on Saturday.
Well, confidence must be, sky high at the moment. There's a lot of positive stats behind your team at the moment, and more so than how good you've been at home as well as part of that. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to show what you're made of once again. Next game, next 3 points at stake. Yeah,
that's it. We enjoyed the moment on Tuesday, got the 3 points. The game's now gone. Players have to now be fully focused on Harrogate, because if you're not fully focused on the game coming up, that's where you can falter. So we got to make sure we are at it, and we try and get another 3 points come Saturday.
What's the last question? Because it's quite long to round up, but how are you in the treatment room? Because I did 1 or 2 over the last week or so. So can you just bring the people up to date with where you are?
Yeah, so Chris Long had a scan. Chris Long, from injury, which was last week, was going to be about 6 weeks, so we'll probably be about 5 weeks now. Unfortunately, aggravated his quad muscle. Connor Thomas is minimal. We expect Connor to be available for Saturday. Zach Williams, really positive. Zach Williams should be back with us by the 2nd of March, so in a couple of weeks. Joel Taberner is back with Joe Phillips now, and hopefully he'll be back with the group come Thursday. So all goes to plan. Joel will be in the squad come Notts County away, so in a week's time. Mattis is getting assessed. Mattis picked up a niggle on the game on Tuesday night. So he's getting assessed. Hopefully it's nothing too major and he's available come Saturday. But we'll find out a little bit more after he's been assessed in the treatment room.
One there, you've done brilliant. You've gone through every one of them. Only one, and I wouldn't remember them all. But that me writing them down. Tom Booth.
Tom Booth's back. Yeah, he's not in the treatment room anymore. That's why I didn't mention Boothie. So yeah, Tom Booth.
I thought you wouldn't have forgotten.
Yeah, Tom Booth's back out training with the group today, and he'll be available for selection on Saturday.
That's terrific news, isn't it? Because it was a worrying time when that injury came about. But as we know, he's part and parcel of the squad, and he's got a job now to win his place back.
Yeah, absolutely. We're back training again today. Like when we heard the extent of the injury after the Tranmere game, I was thinking that could be him for the season. But no, delighted for him on a personal note that it's not. It was only short term, and he's all right now. And he's back training today, and he'll be competing for his place again. And him, Harvey and Westy will have to battle it out and see where we go.